Shoot, I pressed record. Oh, I can't even. What are words? Bandana? Oh, I can't get this right. Why do I do this? Oh! So this. Hi, I'm so glad you're here. Last week I was digging through all of my sewing and crochet patterns, and I realized how many I haven't tried yet, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to try out some new crochet patterns this week. I have a couple of larger projects running in the background, and I kind of just need a few videos where I do something that's kind of low-key and doable in a day or two so I can put time into these other projects. So I figured this would be a good opportunity to kind of combine trying new patterns and doing something low stress so that I can work on these other bigger projects that will be shown later. I think most of the patterns I have in my desktop are from Etsy, so let's take a look at our options. The first one I'd like to try is actually from Michaels. It's a crocheted bandana. I wear bandanas a lot, and I think I've only crocheted one before and it didn't go well. And it was free. I don't know how I didn't. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, I didn't know Michaels had free crochet and knitting patterns. I was very excited. So that's one I'd like to try. These are the options that I haven't tried yet, and I'm just realizing that they're all from the same store. I think I'll pick two from here. I have already been planning on making this mushroom hat, so I think that's going to be a definite yes. And then maybe just for fun, we'll either make the mushrooms or the flowers. So those are the patterns for my computer, and I have quite a few in my phone saved from Instagram posts that I would also like to try. So we'll choose maybe just one from there. Let's see. Okay, maybe that would be fun. I've kind of got a mushroom. Maybe I'll go with this one. There's some really cute little guys in here, and I do like making little guys. Tiny snail? Maybe tiny snail can live on my mushroom hat. Okay, we're making tiny snail. Tiny snail is a yes. Yes, yes, yes. Well, it didn't take long. I've got my patterns. I think I have the yarn that I'm gonna need. We'll have to just wait and see. So I guess I'm gonna get to work. First pattern is from Matt Noor Creates, and I'm not going to show the patterns from small businesses or creators because that's not cool, but I will of course share where I got them from. For my little mushroom, I knew I had the right colors for the base and the spots, but I wasn't sure if I had a good color for the top, and luckily I had this little nugget of like a sort of red yarn. The pattern was pretty easy to follow, though I do struggle sometimes with this size hook. Maybe it's just this particular hook that I have, but I always struggle with it for some reason. Before long, it was time to move on to the spots in the base. I stitched the spots onto the top and worked out the base pretty quickly. Making the little leaves was quick and easy too, though I think with a slightly thinner yarn the shape would translate more. Then I connected the leaves to the mushroom, stitched it together, and boom! Tiny mushroom. Time for our little snail friend from the Wandering Deer. Using an even trickier hook of mine, I got started crocheting his little snail body, and even though I struggled to pull the loops through a lot, his body was done pretty quickly. Now for the shell. This part flew by pretty quickly too, so once the shell was done, I stitched it to his body and gave him some little eyeballs. I originally gave him a mouth too, but I didn't really like how it looked, so I took it off. Alrighty, I only got through two of the patterns today, and I'm gonna stop myself now because I could make one more, but it's already late, and I think the rest of these might take an hour or longer. Then it'll be very late, and I don't want to do that to myself, so I'm gonna call it here, and we'll pick up with the rest of them tomorrow, so I'll see you then. Hello! It's the next day. Continuing the process of trying out new crochet patterns, I thought it'd be fun to start with the free Michaels pattern. Can't believe I never knew that they gave out free patterns. Going through all of the abbreviations and the things that I'll need to make it, I think I have everything I'll need. I don't have the same kind of yarn they're using, and as far as the abbreviations go for following the pattern, I don't think there's anything in here that I haven't done before, so I'm just gonna go ahead and try it out. My hair, not dry, coffee. freezing cold. Let's get to work. For the bandana, I didn't have the exact size of hook it called for. I had one above it and one below it, so I think I used the smaller. I wasn't sure I would have enough of this green yarn to make it, but hey, if it had to be multicolored, that's cool too. Following this pattern, I nearly said recipe there, this pattern was a little more complicated for my brain to comprehend. I learned to crochet by watching YouTube videos, and it took me a while to remember stitch names and abbreviations. Sometimes I still need to look up a specific abbreviation and how to do it to remind or teach myself. Something about the way this pattern was written confused me a little bit, and I don't usually do well with stitch diagrams, but looking at an example of the completed project helps me more. I think it's because the diagram is what it's supposed to be in theory and the project is what it became in reality, so my brain likes to accept that information more, even though they're communicating the same thing, really. I don't know why. This filming process as a whole consisted of me talking to myself a lot, mainly counting stitches out loud as if I'd never learned how to count. And mistakes were made. I did lose count and ended up frogging all of that progress, but I'm glad I did because it was after restarting that the pattern finally clicked in my brain. Once I figured out how they wanted me to make the ties, I crossed my fingers that the yarn I had left would be enough and got to work. After I technically finished it, I thought it needed a little something. So I took this fuzzy yarn that reminded me of moss and got to covering my bandana with some moss. Then I decided it needed flowers, so I got my tiny hook out and made 2, but then I decided it also needed a butterfly, and then I crocheted one of those as well. I think I could have used a few more flowers and maybe another butterfly somewhere, but I decided not to do that night for the sake of time. I can always add them on in the future whenever I think about it. Time for the big mushroom. I did run to the store last week for craft supplies and did get this yarn specifically to make this hat. I bought the pattern in a bundle from the creator's Etsy store and was so excited to make it, and I specifically bought the bundle with this hat in it because, come on, just look at it. I had to. After many expanding rows of stitches, I had one round left before the top was done. That was a very long process. I had to remind myself to drink some water and to stand up from time to time. This non-stop crocheting has resulted in the top of the mushroom being done, and I'm very excited about that. I am, however, going to call it here for the night because I've been crocheting for so long that everything is blurry. What is that little symbol? I've never seen that before. What is that? Oh, it went away. I guess it wasn't important. I guess we'll see. I'm gonna call it a night, so I'll see you tomorrow. Hello. Wait, what do I say? It's not an intro. It's just the next day. Oh, it's yeah, okay. It's the next day. The pipes are very drippy right now, so I don't know if you can hear that, but if you can, no you can't. I'm gonna finish the mushroom hat first because I think that'll take the longest. I only have to do the ruffle, goodness gracious, and the spots, I think. To be honest, I haven't looked through the entire pattern yet. I've just been going through it for the first time as I do it, which might not be the best way to do things, but that's how I'm doing it. Now that I've finished the reddish orange top of the mushroom, I have plenty of that color left over to make the little mushroom dice bag. And I'd also like to make Pearl a little mushroom bandana to match with my little hat, because I like making her little matching things whenever I make things. I would make her a tiny little mushroom hat, but I know she does not like hats. She's just as okay with bandanas as she is with her collar, so bandanas are a comfy choice for her. Not that she needs them, I just think it's cute. So yeah, so I'm gonna finish the mushroom hat, make a little mushroom dice bag, and make Pearl a little mushroom bandana. So I'm gonna get to it. The ruffles started easily enough, but it took a long time. Since I'd be working for a while, I started Dimension 20's Burrow's End series to pass the time. I thought I was going to watch a cozy little adventure with woodland critters and have a nice, calm time. While there were elements of this, I quickly realized that this would not be the case for long. If you've seen Burrow's End, episode 1 was enough to make me realize, but episode 2, oh my goodness. But as usual, the cast always adds enough heart and comedy into the series to balance out the horrors, so it was a great time. While very time consuming due to the size and the fact that I'm very slow at crocheting, this pattern was very easy to follow, and I dare say would be great for beginners. It's a lot of repetition of the same kind of stitch, which is a great way to learn how to crochet. Crocheting is magic, and nobody can convince me otherwise. You just move some loops around enough, and in the end, you've got a thing. Anything, really. And as much as I like it now, I resisted learning how to crochet for a long time. I just couldn't understand how it worked, how one little hook and some yarn could make so much. I had learned how to knit when I was 8, but could only really make rectangles of various sizes, and the occasional hat on a loom. Nowadays, I crochet so often that I rarely knit and even find it very limiting. But enough about that. Where are we at with this hat? Well, time to connect the pieces and add some spots. If there was one thing that helped the most with these projects, I think it was knowing how to make a magic ring, because I used it in every single one of these patterns. I also secured the ruffles in a formation that I liked by sewing them together and then to the top of the mushroom. The spots were easy to make as well, just circles of different sizes that I then sewed onto the cap of the mushroom. The hat was done, after I added our little snail friend to the brim, that is. Still wanted to make Pearl's bandana, so I got to work. I referenced the pattern at the start because I couldn't remember how to begin it, but after that, I did the rest mostly from memory. That's one benefit of starting over, I suppose. You learn from the mistake and do everything twice over. So her bandana took no time at all. Time for the bag, and I almost decided not to make this, but figured it wouldn't take that much time. Right? Wrong. This ended up being a bit bigger than I expected, which means it also took more time, but I'm so glad I did it, because the results are so darn cute. Alrighty, I can't currently see anything very clearly. I just finished the dice bag, and that's the last thing I was going to make, so that means it's time for the reveal. Completely forgot I made this for this video. It was only like 2 days ago. Oh, look at our little buddy up there. I really like everything I made. I really didn't intend to make it all mushrooms. In fact, the only pattern I came into this week prepared for was this one, because I was too excited when I got it, and I went out and specifically got yarn for this pattern. The rest of it kind of just became mushrooms. Oops, all mushrooms. But I think mushrooms are very cute, and therefore I have no regrets. I think the hat is for sure my favorite thing I made. I do like our little snail buddy. I like that he lives on the hat. I think maybe if I added some little crocheted leaves maybe on the side. I considered it, but then I decided not to, but now I kind of wish I had. But I think I may have used up all of my green yarn on the bandana, which I also like very much. I struggled to kind of show the details in the reveal, so I'll hold it up here. There's the tiny little crocheted butterfly. You can see the little crocheted flowers and all the moss. I like how it turned out. The pattern was definitely easy to learn. I liked it a lot. I might make a few more of these at some point. Maybe with a different kind of yarn. Maybe with one that doesn't hold its shape as much and with a slightly smaller hook. Because I think one thing that this kind of, well, I don't know. I was going to say one thing that I maybe disliked about it was how much it held its shape on my head, and it just kind of looked a little weird. But you know, honestly, I think I'm overthinking it because I do like the look of it, so that's all that matters. The little bookmark is very cute. I think I messed up the mushroom. I don't know where, but I think I did because the shape of it isn't quite right. And attaching the leaf stem thing to the bottom kind of sort of worked the way I did it. I think I did that wrong too. It kind of pops out. I also think I made the green part too long. It's cute when the mushroom is hanging over, but I think it's even cuter when the mushroom is sitting right on top of the pages, but then it leaves this very long tail. So I think adding some more leaves onto the bottom of it will help with the length that I can't get rid of. But I think if I made more in the future, I'd make it a little bit shorter. And I think you could do like different shapes at the top of it. Like I think you could do the same with our little snail friend. I think that pattern was very easy to follow and can be very versatile. This sucker took hours of crocheting, but I really like it. I also like my little dice bag. I added a little piece of cardboard in the bottom to make it flat. It's also a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be much smaller, but I think you can make it as large or small as you want by changing the yarn and then the hook size, which is I think true of any pattern. But I'm very happy to finally have a place to store all of my dice. Not that I ever get to use them. Let's see, what did I roll? I rolled a 12 on a d12. Not that I get to use the... Oh, I dropped another one. What did I get? Ugh, that one wasn't as good. I rolled a 2. Not that I get to use them anymore, because I haven't played D&D in 3 years. But yeah, I have them all ready in a very cute, safe place for the next time I get to play. So yeah, I really like everything I made, and if you do too, you can let me know by hitting the like button. And if you want to see what I'm doing next and join the channel, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to know when I post, hit the notification bell and YouTube will let you know. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye! Burr. What doing? What are you doing? Would you like to come up? Okay, listen. Are you gonna be chill? Stinky baby. Somebody's very sleepy. And that makes 2 of us. Oh, are you so cute?